Good morning. I'm sitting outside this Sunday morning and it's so beautiful and the birds are super happy. You can probably hear them in the background. Today I wanted to share a little bit about the subject of feeling resistance in oneself, especially in regards to a relationship. When I feel into this idea of resistance, lots of different things come in. There can be resistance to the moment, to what's showing up, resistance within myself because somebody else is suggesting something I don't like or I don't want to do. Sometimes there's resistance, in me when I want to relax, want to slow down, want to just sit and enjoy the sun or, just sit and do nothing. And then I feel all kinds of resistance inside of me. So I've just been paying attention to the different nuances around resistance. Basically, I've heard quite a few spiritual teachers say that resistance to the moment is one of the greatest forms of suffering when we resist what is. So I've been keeping my attention on this and noticing how frequently I experience resistance on some level or other. But I want to speak specifically about in relationship. What I've noticed about it is that there's a habit. There's different reasons we may feel that resistance. One could be because there's something that's not right that's happening. And it could be a way that there's a red flag in us that tells us, oh, pay attention, what's going on here? Something doesn't feel good. So it can be useful. But then there's also this habitual way of resisting. And for me, being the youngest of 4 kids, I think that I was often, following the pack, wanting to belong. Had 3 older siblings, one of which was pretty kind of coercive and trying to get us to do things. And so I established early on this concern about being controlled or somebody trying to manipulate or something like that. And so I've noticed that has come up quite frequently in the past in my primary intimate relationships, where somehow I'm feeling sensitive to being controlled, particularly by the man in my life. And so therefore, without even knowing it, I'm moving away from our connection and getting into my own, moving away from the moment, because something in me is just habitually resisting when somebody else wants to lead or suggest something. And when I look back at obviously I can't tell all the moments of that, but I know that that's created a lot of suffering for me and suffering in my relationships in the past. And so what I'm noticing now in my current relationship is I'll feel the resistance come up. And that could look like him trying to get closer to me. It could be physically or even emotionally. And it's almost like an automatic impulse where I want to put a wall up or, oh, that's enough. You've hit a boundary or something like that. But because of just gaining more self-awareness over time and not wanting to repeat old patterns, I've been noticing those moments, and I'll do I'll bring on board kind of my adult higher self. And I look at the situation, I'm like, there's absolutely no reason for me to resist this. Nothing bad is happening. Somebody that I adore wants more closeness with me. What would it be like to actually let the resistance come up, but then make a choice to lean in more, to let the guard down? What would happen? And what I realize that this wall, this resistance I've felt has really kept me from the intimacy that I've longed for. And what I'm coming to find out is when I do let him in more, when I let down my guard, when I let down my resistance, I realize, oh, there's so much good here. There's so much good. In fact, so much good that I kind of used to believe I wasn't able to have that much good. And what is it like to actually receive all that good? And that requires a whole nother set of skill to be able to expand and to receive all the goodness that's available. And to actually I have to talk myself through saying there's nothing wrong here. Why am I trying to make something wrong of a beautiful situation? So I'm imagining that if that's my experience, other people have to have similar experiences. And I guess my invitation to you is, when you feel resistance, just pay attention. Is this necessary? Is there something that I'm trying to see here that's important? Or am I habitually resisting something that's really good? And can I make a different decision and open up to more receiving, working through that threshold of intimacy and allowing more good in? There is so much good available, and I welcome you to expand to receive it. All right, much love.